Welcome back, and today we are going to be taking a look at some of the replays again. So we have Edge It Till It Hurts from Risk Records. Thank you very much for the YouTube recommendation here. But we're going to be taking a look at the Bf-109K4 versus the LF Mark 9. We have the MLA versus the F-16ADF. We have another P-51 versus TAR-152H video. And then we have the Uragan, I think it is. Oh, the Mystere MD-452-2A versus an F-2H. If I need more time, I might add another one in post, but we'll see once it happens. Let's get started with the first one. If you want to submit your clips, make sure to send them in my Discord. I have a tab called Content Review all the way at the top. All you have to do is post your link there and I will review it. I'm not going to be taking a look at replays because most of the time I'm a little bit late. And I mean, replays just suck absolute ass. And it's just a lot more convenient because I can actually scroll around and I don't have to worry about the time it takes to fast forward, stuff like that. The climb here, I'm just going to be taking a quick look at it. Climb a bit faster. You don't want to be climbing at like 240 with a K4. K4 optimal climb speed is like 280, I believe it is. With most planes, you just want to sit around 260 till 300. 290 is solid for basically any plane. Bar a few, something like a D-13 for example, will climb better at 310. But 290 with most planes is perfectly fine, at least with props. 240 is too slow. This plane loses quite a bit of power at low speed. Bit of a hindrance of 109s in general, but the K4 is especially susceptible for it. So we are going to be climbing. We can be a little bit higher than we thought. If possible, make sure that you actually record your actual game, because right now I can't see your throttle. I can't see what your flaps are doing, especially with a 109 that takes 6 minutes to change flap position. I can't see your fuel. All in all, I'm missing quite a bit of information, but it's fine. As long as I have your IES, your altitude and the distances, I have the, what's it called? I don't know what to call it. I completely lost my train of thought. As long as I have enough information on the screen, we can work with it. As long as I have the text on the screen, that's the one. So don't turn your HUD off, because that's going to fuck with this quite a little bit. So we are just climbing. I mean, you side climbed a little bit, and with these small teams, especially when you are at the 6.0 bracket and half your team is in bombers and you have like 1-3-3-5 and a 1-5-2 on the deck, I understand why you would side climb a little bit. K4, perfectly understandable, because F2Gs, P-51Hs, F7S with an air spawn. F7F in itself isn't that dangerous, but you know, air spawn is kind of rough. They can push you into the P-51s, which are probably going to be above you anyway if they actually climb properly. Luckily, most people don't. Now, we have an LF Mark 9 jump scare somewhere in this video, and I want to just emphasize up front, very rough fight, and there is little you can do if he plays it right. Now, there are some things here, but it depends on the situation. If he is above you, you are going to be struggling a little bit. We have Chicken Brick 7 on the right. We have an F2G on the front here. F2G is way too low, and yes, he is engaging the TAR-152, but he's simply too low to the deck, and if you go for him, you die. I'm seeing you look at it, and that's why I'm talking about it. Luckily, you don't actually commit for him, and we are not going to be going him, at least for now. Cold map makes it a little bit easier to spot your enemies, because the contrails appear quite a bit higher. 152H goes down, and now you have the FOU and the F2G on the deck. Now, there's also another plane spotted, or that was spotted, I think it was the AM1. But other than that, you still have 3 people that you have no idea of where they are. So diving here might be a little bit soon. You are going way over your top speed. You are going to be losing quite a bit of energy. But you also need to get these numbers down. So it is somewhat understandable. I advise leading a bit more. There you go. Down he goes. Yeah, I mean at this point you might as well just commit to the fight. F2G is basically flying straight. Aim a bit higher to the right. Please don't tell me you missed this. Okay, oh, he got hit. Are we gonna drop throttle? I wouldn't do it, but then again you want to kill him quick. We are dropping throttle, I think. We get directly on him. He is crit, he is damaged, but now we kind of locked ourselves into low altitude by committing to this guy, and we are not looking around whatsoever. And you know that you are one of the 2 fighters in your team. There are like 3 people that aren't spotted. You want to make sure that you don't slam into a tree. Damn. I knew it wasn't going to happen because of the game, but there we go. LF Mark 9. Oh my god, we start off very hot here. So we haven't been looking around at all, and we basically went from 6 kilometers to 1 kilometer, and now we have an LF Mark 9 that's not even on your screen. Why is this so sus? Well, the LF Mark 9, you need some energy to work with to actually be able to somewhat stall it out. This thing has a very good retention at low speed, it has a very good climb rate, and it makes it very easy for him to just kind of float within your turning circle. It is very maneuverable. It's not as maneuverable as some of the lower tier Spitfires, but it makes up for this tenfold in the amount of engine power that it has. This thing is incredibly scary, especially at low speed. So we instantly start off with some damage. Now, what can we really do here? I'm gonna be real with you, you are already dead. And the reason I am using this clip, because I had a feeling it was gonna go this way, because well, it's an LF Mark 9. He's going faster than you. You don't have the speed to really get away from him. You are already damaged, and he's on your 6. He's already completed half of his turn. He was diving on you, and he will most likely be catching you in second. Now we can go up, and that is the thing that you will do, because this will make it so that he has to do a little bit tighter to make sure that he pulls into the shot. But now we go down, and we basically throw away that advantage, because he loses no speed to instantly get back on your 6. Now all you can really do is pray for an overshoot. I kind of do the same thing as I did in the G14 video with the LF Mark 9, where you try to make him float over your gun. Now the issue is that this guy, all he has to do is just kind of drop his throttle. He has no clue what he's doing, and you are basically just flying around hoping that he's bad. You go up again, you stall yourself out, all he needs to do is pull directly into you and you die. This is a situation that is basically unwinnable, and again, that's why I want you to see this. There's very little you can do as long as he doesn't fly into your guns. Now we turn into his guns again, he just doesn't aim properly, we go vertical, we again go 150 kilometers an hour, but there's nothing else you can really do. You need to get away from this, you need to avoid this situation, and you need to try to be faster than it. The issue is that the LF Mark 9 on the deck is actually surprisingly quick, and never go vertical like this in front of someone, especially when they stall better than you. Now he is going to blow another angle. Now is he actually going to die to that? No, he's actually paying attention to your nose. He pulls out of the way. And now you might be able to pull after him. Now if he panics and he turns into the wrong direction, you might be able to kill him. But this is just a fight that is not winnable. You fought on his terms. You were way too slow. And he basically had every advantage that he could have gotten. And I don't think he had anything really going, or you had anything going for yourself. Not looking behind us, we need to fly more with the keyboard, but it doesn't really matter. The only reason that this clip takes as long as it does is because Mr. LF Mark 9 has, frankly, just no clue what he's doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just trying to tell you that you're not surviving because you're doing certain things. You're not surviving because of, you know, the plane, or because this is almost a winnable fight. This is a long clip because your enemy is messing up quite badly. And what you are doing is kind of okay, like you're trying to get him to overshoot, trying to get on him, make him panic, like try to get a shot, and that's more than what you're doing right here is really not feasible, not in the situation that you're in. Now this is probably gonna keep on going for another minute, so I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit because there's really nothing to take away from this. I mean, in the end you just get taken apart and you die. So what do we do to avoid this situation? Well, you want to be a little bit more vigilant. The main thing here is that you dove from 6 kilometers all the way to the deck in the span of a minute, while you didn't know where half of your friendlies were. I understand that you want to get the numbers down. The issue is, at this BR, if you don't have an energy advantage in something like a K4, you're probably going to struggle. You are going to get people above you, and the second you lose that initiative, you're probably going to die. Now we crit this guy, and we want this guy dead. We don't want him to come back later. I completely understand, but we need to look around. Because right now, this guy is crit. He's not going to be reversing us. He's not going to make our life a living hell. We just need to actually pay attention. If we had already banked a little bit of speed, we might have been able to merge with the LF Mark 9. And perhaps be a little bit faster. Maybe run away to a bomber. Maybe they can use their gunners. But now, I mean, it's already over. You're going 400 kilometers an hour in the shots of an LF Mark 9. And he has too much energy. And all he has to do is basically put his cursor on you, and you die. So this is mostly an issue of awareness. And this guy says it as well as here. You then look around you and completely tunnel vision the F2G. You lost the moment you followed the FSG to the deck without realizing the Spitfire is nearby. Maybe it was bad, maybe I played it best. The flaps are not the issue here. Let me tell you. The flaps of the 109 are helpful, but they won't win you this fight. They are too slow to react. They do work. They are pretty okay once they are deployed. But the flaps or not will not win or lose you the fight versus something like the Spitfire LF Mark 9. Next up we have the MiG-23ML versus the F-16ADF. Now the F-16A is a very scary plane. And this is a fight that you should lose. But let's take a look. I would like a little bit more context. Because right now I don't know how you got into this. Because getting into the situation is also as important as the clip is. Kind of ties into the LF Mark 9 that I just covered. Now we are going to go up. We're going to try to make him overshoot. But we are using full afterburner. This guy is barely slower than us. And he's about, or barely faster than us. And he's about to be slower than us. And you can see, I think if I press play now, he's actually going to gain a bit of distance. Even though he's cutting you off. Am I correct? I am. Incredible. Okay, you already should have been dead here, but that's besides the point. Let's take a look at what you can do right here. You don't want to go too slow. You want to pick up a bit of speed to actually be able to dodge his guns. You are faster than him. You are able to outrun him. He does not have AIM-9M, so flaring it will be a little bit easier. Also for the people that are reviewing these clips, make sure to press the 2 and then the camera tracks for you. Now this guy is pulling a lot of AOA. He's already aiming in front of your plane and you are about to fly through it. So you want to make sure that you actually dodge his guns and you get him to either overshoot or you try to get away from him. What you're doing right here is doing neither. You're delaying the inevitable and you're trying to basically bleed him off speed by turning in front of him. There comes the missile. That is not my Discord ping. That is someone else. That is the video. Okay, you need to commit to one or the other. You cannot try to reverse him while trying to maintain speed. And you cannot try to outrun someone when trying to bleed speed. The F-16 is firmly planted on your 6. And the F-16 is a plane that is very maneuverable. It is a very good plane. And you want to be careful of it. I understand there is very little you can do. But by simply sitting in front of him, maintaining your speed, maintaining your distance, you essentially just give this guy the opportunity to kill you until he eventually runs out of fuel, ammo or missiles. Because right now you're really not getting anywhere. There is no gain to be had. You're slamming the elevator, you're trying to outturn him, but he is just able to sit on your 6 and he will be pulling in again. You're not getting anywhere. Now, eventually you might be able to outrate him, you might be able to out-energy him because he is pulling full elevator, he's bleeding more speed than you, but the issue is the F-16 can kind of just next on your 6 and then he'll be able to pull in anyway. We can tell here that this guy messed up quite an awful amount. He might actually be out of ammo at this point or he has like one burst left so he doesn't really want to shoot. We are gonna be winning this raid somewhat and I understand what you're trying to do and I'll rewind a little bit in a minute here. Now you're maintaining your speed. You might go a little bit quicker, like 750 to 800. But if he does the same thing, you're gonna be in a little bit of a pickle. But he's slamming that elevator. He's pulling fully on that stick. He's yanking it. And you are gaining on him, so that's good. There's probably a second one coming in a minute here, because you have like, oh never mind, there's only 4 left in the enemy team. But it is 4v1. Keep this horizontal. Do not get baited into going vertical right here. Okay, you messed up right here. Okay, we're gonna actually look at a little bit of an issue. We are raiding him. We are maintaining speed. We are going pretty quick. Like, we're going 600. We might go vertical here. And it looks like he's about to get a shot. And you might want to try and get the shot for yourself here, but it's never going to happen. Just keep on the afterburner. And keep turning into him. Turn in horizontal here. After you pass his nose, you can basically go straight up and you will be able to drop on top of him because that guy is completely stalled out. You can also just try to go horizontal and now you basically do neither, but I think it's still somewhat okay. He cut his afterburner. Not sure if he's out of fuel or if he's trying to pull into the shot. Either way, he shouldn't have pulled his afterburner off. Turn it off. Now we're going to go into a vertical loop. He's going pretty slow, but the issue is now you're actually going pretty slow as well. Your turning circle is pretty wide and he's about to get another shot. Now you dodge the shot. That's completely okay. Do not try to go back into a scissor. You're giving the advantage back to him. So you just kind of reversed himself. Okay. Okay. Let's see how this actually ends, because I didn't see this entire clip yet. We are going to go back into the raid, because evidently it kind of worked. And you might want to try it again. I understand that. He's still going... Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. So we want to keep turning. And just make sure that he never pulls in. He is pulling on that stick still. He is absolutely sending the AOA. Absolutely sending the turn rate. And that is not beneficial. And because you're holding some of your speed, you're still not holding it optimally, but you're holding a lot more than he is. And eventually you will pull back behind him. Now the issue is that his turning circle is a lot tighter. And he has a lot more opportunities to get shots on you. He reverses his turn. Are you able to get the shot in? Are you gonna kill him? Yes, you do. Incredible. So this is, okay, this is actually a perfect example for why I say don't reverse your turn. Right here, he's pulling into you, or you're pulling into him, but he's kind of on your 6 still, right? Like he is still behind you somewhat. It's kind of equal. And we're just gonna take a look at him. He's turning in. He's turning in. It's still kind of natural, and then he reverses his turn, and just like that, you kill him instantly. So this is a mistake of him just messing up. I'm not sure how much ammo this guy had left. It doesn't say that he's out, but I don't think he had much left, because all he did was just spray your ass down from a little bit of an angle. All you really want to do is just make sure that you either commit to one or the other. Try to go fast for a bit maybe. Try to upset the loop. Try to break up the repetition here, because right now he's way too close to you. There is no way that he's going to ever overshoot. So you might just want to get a little bit of speed, reset, turn in, because you will be faster and there should be a little bit of a gap then. And then he will turn into you at like a 90-degree angle, and you already set yourself up for a little bit more success. At this point, you can actually work with your energy advantage, with your rate advantage, because it's going to take him a little bit to actually get the shot on you. And if he's going to be pulling that stick fully, you will run out of speed a little bit quicker as well. And then once we are in this stage here, where you are cutting afterburner for no reason, you're trying to get the shot probably. Is it here? It is here. Over here, this guy is almost stalled out. All you need to do is just keep pulling into the direction you are already pulling. And even if he goes vertical, just keep turning into the same direction. And there is nothing he can do about it. Well, in the way that he's playing. Just turn into that direction. He's turning to you already, so there's not going to be a head-on. And you would have killed him right there. So 2 things here. Be more committed. Don't switch up your strategy halfway, unless it's of course necessary, or it's something that you know that if I do this, he dies right here. But don't switch up your long-term strategy if it doesn't give you any rewards. Because you're doing 2 things at the same time, and you're doing this throughout the entire clip. Here you're trying to outrun him, but also trying to scissor and out-reverse him. Here you're trying to out-energy him, but you're also trying to pull in. You need to pick one, commit to it, doing one thing proper. Doing the not optimal thing proper is better than doing the right thing improperly. So just get that in your head, and you should be completely fine. It's not terrible, don't get me wrong. It's understandable mistakes. I still make these sometimes as well. I'm not trying to be high horse, Mr. You know, I am the king of Araby. That's not what I'm getting at here. I make mistakes as well. But this is what I notice, and this is what I would personally improve on. Alright, let's see what we're gonna do. It's a P51. I guess 1v1 with P51. We go ahead on with an F4U. Lucas Bear. Freddy Fazbear or something. And he is just completely oblivious. It's an FU 7, so that's a little bit more positive. That's hella sus. You want to pull into this. You don't want this guy to get on your 6, because he will be spraying at you, and you can kill him right here. Alright, that's thing number 1. Is he going to catch you as well? Oh, Lord, this is... Oh, this is rough. If that guy sprayed a bit more and had a little bit better aim, you'd be dead right there. So why is this an issue with me? You're merging without web. You're not overeating. So make sure the web. I understand this. He wasn't pulling in yet, so why did you dodge the head-on? Here, all I need to do is pull up and he dies. Just pull straight into him. Flaps down, pull up over, he dies. 2 loops max. Right here, you're trying to run away from a guy with 4 A&M trees, infinite ammo, and he is not going to be more than a kilometer away. This is extremely sketchy. The second you see him turn in like that, you could have still turned in. You basically can turn in all the way till about... Oh, that's a bit sketch. If you start pulling up here, he still dies. It's really that easy. All you have to do was just chase this guy. But we'll see. Oh, you're gonna turn with him. That's okay. But right now, you're doing basically the thing that I would have done 30 seconds ago. And you are in a lot more risk now, because this guy has a massive angle on you. Oh, he might not get the shot here. He doesn't have the pull. He's dead. Like, why would you, if you merge in the head-on, and you are gonna dogfight him regardless, why would you think about trying to run away, get him directly in your 6, and then start turning? You basically give him the advantage, and he is either going to run away now, or he's gonna try to head on you. Looks like he's actually diving away here. Yeah. Now, are we going to tunnel vision on him? Now, we are looking around, and this is good. This is what I like to see. This is the thing that the K4 didn't do at the first clip. Get tunnel visioned, don't look around. You're still looking at the FOU, you're trying to push him down. And the second you notice that he's going fast enough, that he's low enough, you break off and you switch your attention to the P-51H while still keeping tabs on the FOU to see if he doesn't pitch up for you. This is what I like to see, and this is something a lot of people do wrong. The small things like taking a dogfight a little bit too late, not taking the fight instantly, being a bit slow, that's fine. Those are things that you can totally work on. Situational awareness is something that a lot of people just don't get to learn. It's something that you do or you don't, and it's very hard to pick up if you aren't doing it. Alright. A few things to unpack here. First of all, why are you climbing? You want to have a little bit of speed here, because he's going to pick up less speed from that little bit extra dive than you are. You need speed to dodge his guns. He has 650 cals. It looks like he hasn't engaged much yet, because this is... it's 8 minutes into the game. You don't want to go this slow. I would, instead of going up and then turning in, you just go underneath him and pull up into him in the last second. Then we do the second thing. We merge with him and we instantly give him the 6. Now, I understand this because you are going slower than him, so you might think, well, I'm going slower, he might overshoot, and then I can kill him. Sure. But this is incredibly dangerous because he has more energy than you and he already has initiative and the advantage. So you don't want him directly in your 6 because he can start looping you. He can just drop throttle and hose you down. Or he does something that I can't think of because it's too moronic to do. But there is multiple ways to kill you in this scenario. And this is something that I would call a free kill if I was playing an Arabi. If I was a P-51H and I see this happen to me, you're not making it into the video. Let's just put it that way. So we are going to turn in front of him. We almost turn in. And then we give him our 6 again. Now we are going to end up going like 500, I think. 502. And then we go a little bit up. And we use our flaps. Now it's fine, because the P-51H is of course a less powerful plane in the dogfight. Don't overuse your flaps though. Kinda sketch, but I think you're good. Yeah, you're good. And just kind of turn into him. Now this is fine. Personally, I would probably drop throttle here with my flaps down and just pull down into him. You want to be a little bit more aggressive, but you can probably actually go up here. You're not using your flaps too much. Yeah, you are actually. Those are takeoffs. Don't bleed too much speed, because right now he's pulling into you because he is going a bit faster. And he's not using his flaps too much. But I think you're good because the TAL 152H is an absolute monster. Yeah, you're good. He's dead. Now all you need to do is pull down and he dies. Unless of course he runs away. Which is something that a lot of people do. And this is why I don't like doing what you just did. Does anything happen? Do you kill him? Oh, okay, we do. Oh, he turns back around. Now, you are in the head-on. You're going the same speed, but this time he doesn't have energy. We full commit him. And we turn after him and he dies. Is he gonna reverse his turn again? Are we going to get clips that complement each other yet again? Yes, we do. Incredible. But it doesn't really matter because he would have died anyway. Now, what is my issue with this? Because I was complaining about this. I mean, the merge is not very good. I would go either head on, or maybe like 90 degrees, but I won't give him my 6 ever. Then we use landing flaps, and we go horizontal. Now I understand it, the 152H flaps are very strong, they are very powerful, and the P-51H is not that fantastic at super low speed. But that almost cost you. If you lost a bit more speed, you would have died right there. Now, maybe this was planned. Maybe you just know this plane so well that you can like guess the angle to the absolute millimeter. Completely fine then. I said nothing. But this is sus. You don't want to use your flaps too much. You don't want to lose too much energy when you are trying to force a flat turn. If you want to use your flaps for this plane, turn into him. Don't turn it into a Ratefight like you are right here. Because he can kind of just keep energy by turning down and then pitch up into you. He almost does it here. If he had maintained the speed a bit better, like right here, if he had dropped his flaps, or pulled them in, I mean, dove like he is right here. The second you see this, you don't want to keep rate fighting, because if he picks up a bit more speed and then pulls in gently, he just pulls in right here, because you're not going very fast. He has a very powerful engine. He just messes it up here by going a bit too steep, a bit too horizontal at the same time. He's also doing a thing where he's doing both things at the same time. If he had committed to the bit where he picks up speed and then throws everything into a singular shot, he probably would have killed you right there, because those 50 kills will absolutely shred your plane. It worked out because he made a mistake, basically the same mistake as you did, and your plane is still better at it. Small things here, I like the awareness. Work on your merges and work on your energy management. So the main things here are going to be here, just pull in, don't let this guy directly on your 6, simply too passive. Then we have the F for you diving away. I like this a lot. Keeping tabs on both planes, looking what they are doing, setting up for success. And then you start like climbing versus the P-51. And I get it, you want to have a little bit of altitude, but he's going to be faster than you. And you want to store a bit more speed to be a little bit more evasive. And having more speed also means that if you use your flaps, for example, you can use them for a little bit longer. 152H is of course an exception. This one on this plane here, some of the best flaps in the game. And everything I say in my flap guide that I made like a few months ago is not really applicable to this plane. But still, rate fighting with flaps, in that scenario, it might help your turn rate. It might win you a lot of fights, but in that specific scenario, even with the 152H, you don't want to use your flaps that much. Just put them on combat, because without flaps, it doesn't turn whatsoever, and I understand it. You do want to tighten up the loop a little bit, but you don't want to overuse them, bleed too much speed, and risk yourself getting shot down. But here, you want to make sure to have a little bit more speed, so instead of climbing, dive a little bit. You would have merged at like 500 probably, and then you could have gone up instead of down, because now you're just giving him a lot of angle and a lot of position. Then we reverse our turn, we go into a scissor, understandable. We drop the landing flaps to slow down, and I mean, you kind of pull away from his nose, but this is all very sketchy. It's not necessarily wrong versus this plane, but it could have been a bit better, and these are the things again that I notice. These are the things that I would personally work on. Overall, okay fight. Just be a little bit more wary of your vehicle. Okay, I tried to do this game. The quality is simply too bad. I'm terribly sorry. As I did with the previous one, if you want some info on this, if you want, just DM me, comment on the video, and I'll explain it to you. But this is honestly so bad that I cannot use it for the video, because people will just leave. It is just that bad. So I'm terribly sorry, Flak. DM me, comment, I don't care what you do, I'll help you out. But I can't use this for a video. This is honestly just too bad. So I'm gonna instead look at the F-16A, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. AIM-9Ls, so probably F-16A. It's AJ. Incredible. It's on the screen, people. Thank you. But sense of view might be a little bit nice here. It's of course a lot better and there's a lot more to see. We are going head on with a MiG-23ML We don't really lock him up. We try to lock him up. We are using ACM, but I think he's just too far away. Yeah, there we go. He's locked. Are we going to shoot a missile at him? The answer is no. We only have sidewinders left. We are going to go to the deck to make sure that we don't get R27 or R24. That's good. He shoots an R24R, and because we preemptively went to the deck, we are able to actually defend. We go head on. Okay, we can't see shit with all these radars. Okay, I'm actually not going to use it. I'm sorry, it's going to be a dogfight, isn't it? I might switch back and forth. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We go head on with a MiG-23ML. We pre-flare in case he shoots R60s at us, and then YouTube freezes for the 50th time today, because this app is absolutely dog shit. We shoot after merging, is of course an intimidation tactic. And we go a bit fast into the merge, and that's why he took the first loop on you here. And then we break afterwards. Okay, and now we break too much. Keep this in mind. You merge fast, and then overbreak to compensate. Again, you're doing two things instead of one. I love when I accidentally get all these clips to line up. We pull up into the MiG-23. We probably try to get behind him. And it's fun to see the opposite of the first clip or the second clip that I showed you. Because now we are on his 6. Be careful to not slam into a tree. We are going to be able to pull up in here. But he's going quite a bit faster than us, I think. But I can actually check. Now this is actually beautiful. Because I can actually check. The clip is like 5 minutes, so it's like 1 minute 20. Yeah. See, he's going like 230 kilometers an hour quicker than you, and this makes it quite a bit harder for you to get good shots off. Absolutely terrific voice crack. My voice is absolutely boned. I'm terribly sorry, but that's just how it is. I just woke up. Now, you're also not leading enough. He's going a lot faster than you think. He is deceptively fast. And that's the thing with MiG-23MLs. They just don't lose any speed. Now you're going to pull vertical after him. And this is going to make you even slower. And the slower you go, the more speed you will lose. Yada, yada, yada. This is a fight that is going to take you forever. I recommend you to just kind of neck-G a little bit. Pick up a slight bit of speed. Kind of equalize your energy. And then you can start in pulling slowly. Or the rate of these two planes is pretty similar, but your turning circle is a lot smaller. So what you can do is keep your speed and then pull in sometimes to kind of offset the similarities. You will be able to pull your nose in a little bit, you neck-G, you repeat, and you will eventually just get a shot on him. But right here, because you are going 300 kilometers an hour, he is going to be pulling in. And this is actually the exact opposite of what we saw with the second clip, where the other guy was doing this. The MiG-23 is holding speed, and the F-16 is slamming its elevator. And this is what it looks like. Eventually, this MiG-23 will pull in behind you. And you can tell it right here. It's not ideal. He's not even he's just over halfway, and he starts closing in the gap again. We are only going 300. You want to keep pulling in, sure, but at this point you want to accelerate the hell out of here. And this might work, but it's the exact same thing that other F-16 did. Now, what does the MLA or the ML do? English is hard. He keeps looping in the same direction, and this is what I meant earlier. We are still going only 400. This guy is still going hella quick. Now he's actually going to get pretty damn close to merging like neutral. Don't air brake here, please. Like, you're already going super, and he does the same mistake that the other one does. He basically pulls into your guns. So the issue here is, what happens here? He's pulling away, he's somewhat equal, and then he reverses his turn. And by reversing his turn and having a wider turning circle, because he's also going much quicker than you, he basically just pulls directly in front of you. You take the shot, however, even though you didn't really have one, but you kind of have to at this point. Just get out. Pick up some speed, reset, and this is a super winnable fight. F-16 mocks the MiG-23. You just don't want to get stuck in this very specific scenario. Now he's pulling behind us again. We are going 300. We're going super slow. The only issue is that the ML has such a wide turning circle and the F-16 doesn't, This is just a very frustrating fight for the ML. But you can tell that he's about to get shots on you. He just doesn't have it. And you both turn into each other again. And he pulls out of the way and you're going super slow. Yeah, this is kind of jovial, isn't it? So he can't really kill you because your turning circle is so much tighter. Don't use your air brake, dude. You're already going slow enough. Like, going slower doesn't make you turn better. Going slower will make you turn worse. Especially with something like the F-16, you want to maintain like your corner speed, which is like 850-ish, 800, 850. And you will outturn this guy very quickly. But right here, you're basically just throwing away even more energy to make sure that you don't have the energy to counter him. Now, you are slow enough to the point where he can't pull into you. And that is your saving grace. But this is... yeah. I mean, you kill him. But... you basically made every cardinal sin in the book. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see what the description says. Yeah. No, that's fine. This is okay. Yeah, so... merge, okay. But you're going a bit quick. You're going way over Mach. You don't want to go like over Mach 1. Try to merge at like 1000, maybe 1050. A little bit slow with the F-16 is fine too. And then you will get a lot of position early on. And you're able to just kind of sit on the 6. Dodge his guns here, but still going super fast. Still have the afterburner on. And we are just compressing completely. Now let's take a look at the speed of the ML as he merges. Because he just pulled into you very, very hard. He is going 800. Keep in mind, this guy probably just took off. You have 6 kills. 5 kills. Actually, I don't know. I don't know how much fuel you have. But he just took off. Very big likelihood that he's actually quite heavy as well. If you did what you did when he was like low fuel, you probably would have died like 2 times over. He's going much slower than you. Keep that in mind. He's going 600. We are going 900. Now we are at the good merge speed. And you start dropping your air brake. You don't need to drop your air brake anymore. You're just wasting speed at this point. We go underneath him. We don't gonna get shot down by a missile. Understandable. We try to pull in. Just like that, you are slower than him now. You energy trapped yourself. And versus an ML, that's okay. You want to get position. But then you need to actually claw back the advantage properly. And that's the thing that went wrong here. We get on his 6, or we get behind him, I should say. And we just kind of start pulling into him. But because we are so damn aggressive, and we slam that elevators constantly, what ends up happening is that you lose too much speed, you lose all your rate, you lose all your maneuverability. And you just kind of give this guy all the opportunities in the world to kill you. This is not ideal. And that's all I can say. It's the same thing as with the other ML. I think that this ML just had a lot of fuel on him and that's why he struggled so much killing you. But by staying this slow and how close he got a few times getting a shot, I think you would have died if he had like half the fuel he has right now. So if you both took off at the same time, essentially. But yeah, that's about it. If you merge a little bit slower, get your position early on, and then try to maintain your speed a little bit better, where you tap your negative elevator. You try to at least hit at like 700, 600. And this fight would have been a lot shorter, would have been a lot easier, and you would have been at a lot less of a risk. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you all for watching. And you'll see me in the next one.